Hi everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here, starting off the month of June with the monthly MonTac Meta for the past month of May. In this video, we'll be going over the past month and how the meta changed/evolved. In May, we saw many card changes and strategies taken advantage of, with set 4 archetypes reaching far higher popularity than ever before. All up, we had 20 matches occur in the last month, and it was in these matches that we would see multiple debuts and history-making battles. But first, the following are the tiers for deck representation. Overlord tier 50% or more, extremely likely. Elite tier 25 to 49%, very likely to play those decks. Solid tier 10% 24% likely, and Rogue tier less than 10% unlikely. We'll start by looking at each week before we analyze the month as a whole. In week 1 of May, we had Vigilantes take the lead with a solid 20%. Decks that saw interesting play were Angel Shark after a card called Search and Burn was discovered to boost Shark very quickly. In our second week, we saw Sky Soldiers take home the majority at 18%, while other big decks like Steel Edge and Vigilantes would lag behind. Pugs also got their first pure trial along with Destroyer Shark Troopers, a deck focused on high-powered multi-attackers. The next week after that had an even distribution of decks. What becomes more interesting is the influx of Destroyer Swords hitting the meta. A set of tacticals based on fluid searching and generic power boost would see play in mutated Eclipse Trooper and Gambler Beowulf decks overall. The final returning deck would be Dragon Angels, a first in the current era of MonTac. Finally, in the last week of May, we had Steel Edge take over once again with a whopping 25% stake in the meta. As for the other decks, these would rather stay the same outside of a brand new Gambler Aftermath strategy. This was likely used as players searched frantically to find counters to the dominant Steel Edge decks. As we look over the month as a whole, we can see that Vigilante, Steel Edge, and Eclipse Troopers stood as top dogs in the meta. This would likely come down to how players dealt with the surging Steel Edge decks running rampant. Vigilantes would offer a constructive specialty removal option, while Eclipse Troopers would focus on outpacing the bigger decks. This leads into my 3 predictions I made for the May meta. My first prediction was that specialty removal decks like Vigilantes and Tarosians will continue to be heavily used in the top 5. While I will admit Tarosians have fallen off, decks like Vigilante have thrived under the current conditions. My second prediction was that Eclipse Troopers would be a potential meta threat as they pose a unique threat with Lucusiolt and otherworld monsters like Deltron and Crime Partners. One of my better predictions, Troopers have for sure become a popular deck in recent weeks, however we are yet to see them in the title picture. Rest assured, I'm sure they're on their way. Finally, my last May prediction was that Steel Edge would drop significantly in dominance due to how many counters are being discovered recently. In a state of more counters being discovered, players have stayed away from Steel Edge, especially with their horrible matchup against Vigilantes. Going forward, here are my predictions for the June meta. While I previously mentioned that Steel Edge was failing popularity, I can definitely see more experimentation with the archetype. As with any elite deck, they will always see play when the tournaments come around. My second prediction is I believe Pugs will finally get their big break, as they seem to be a great counter for meta giants like Eclipse Troopers and Steel Edge. Finally, I expect to see more unconventional decks arise to surprise those stuck in traditional styles. With my predictions out of the way, I'm keen to see how this June tournament will go as we see our top 12 ranked players battle it out for the title of MonTac TCG Champion. If you'd like to check out our community, the Discord link is in the description below. That being said, this was the meta for May 2022. Please leave a comment down below of your own predictions and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of content. Until next time, this has been Tom. Have a great day.